morning. Today I'm adding in this photo of the presents under the tree, and I wanted to bring in some turquoise with the red because the room where we have our tree, the living room, is decorated in red and turquoise throughout the year, so I also added that to the tree, and our tree had red and turquoise ornaments. So I want to bring in some of that kind of richer turquoise, and you can also start to see it in the wrapping paper underneath. And then on the facing page, there'll be a photo of the tree that brings out that color a bit more. So I'm starting with a neutral pattern paper in the background. It's that really busy, lovely color on the other side, but I want to use the neutral one here. And I'm going to cut my mat from this turquoise, just like I did on the last two, actually. I don't really want a huge mat, but just a little bit of color around the edge. And you can, of course, do this on your trimmer. I find it quicker to do with my scissors, and that's what I tend to do for smaller photos. And then I want to show you today how I could do this with a more central design. So the last few cards, I've put the photo over to the side. And this one I want to put it right in the center and then add embellishment top and bottom, but that's going to mean adding embellishment that's quite small, because moving things over to the side a little bit in one way or another gives you a bit more space. And I haven't printed this so that it's a size that's exactly square, so that's why it's taking me a little bit longer here to get it centered both top and bottom and on the sides, because I have a little bit more room here at the top than I do at the sides. So that's where I'm going to add my embellishment. And I tend to think of this as a tree shape, even if it's not the photo of a tree, because the top and the bottom, the natural weight when you look at a design tends to be that if you take that triangle and put something light at the top and heavy at the bottom, that's natural to our eye to know that whatever is heavier at the bottom makes more sense. It looks like something that wouldn't topple over. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to follow that rule all the time, but it is something that can help if you're looking for just good design in a really quick and simple way. I'm going to start by adding my gold circle here, just centered at the top so that just part of it is behind there. And this label centered at the top. I want whatever I use at the bottom to be wider than this embellishment. So I'm going to use the tape. I'm just going to get the width right first. And then I'm going to cut this so it's a little bit narrower. So here I can now fit that in. So it's nice and wide here at the bottom. Repeat my gold circle. I'm going to run this one off the bottom of the card. I want to maintain that horizontal element, so I'm going to, you can see I'm running low on my baker's twine now. I didn't start with a full reel, if that helps gauge how much you might need. I don't know how much was on there, but it was not a complete reel. Let's staple this on the sides. I'll go ahead and trim this while I'm here. And then I need to add something to the center of each of these. I have two sizes of the chipboard wood grain hearts left in my kit, so I'm going to put the larger one down here in the middle of this circle. If it doesn't want to go flat, then I'll put some pop dots either side of the twine to make it stick, but I think it might just go. And this one up at the top, but that's a little too small, it's going to get lost on there, so I think I might return to my little heart punch and bring in a little bit of turquoise. So I could do a turquoise heart. And that can go in the center of the gold circle there. And then my little chipboard star will go right in the middle there. And I think I'm going to finish this one with just a pen line. So I'm going to go around here And pen lines are something you either like or you don't. And that's kind of why I include things like this in the videos sometimes, because sometimes it helps if you see something that you don't like just as much as if you see something and you do like it. So I can do this and you can have a look and you can say, oh, I really liked that until you put the pen line on it. And some of you will think that, and that's absolutely fine. But then you know that it's not something that looks right to your eye and you would rather not do that. So in which case, leave that off. But if you did like it, then you know you can try that when you've got a little bit of empty space around the edge. The one thing I would say is that when I'm working with small cards, if I do pen lines, I would make sure that I have more than one on the page. So if I'm going to have 4 on the page, I'd do at least one other with a pen line, because I then find that it looks more purposeful. And if it's just on one, it can look a little bit awkward, but I like it once it's on at least 2 in the same page. So there's my card for today. It has a little bit of sparkle, and I'm using up all these tiny little supplies that I have left in my kit. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.